Hello internets, I'm the classic nerd. I know I didn't upload much towards the end of 2015, but hey, it's 2016, which means more games to play and more games to review. I'm going to kick off the new year right with a new review for you. As always, it's up to me to decide if a game is worth playing or worth trashing. Today we're going to be reviewing Road Rash for the PS1. Road Rash is a racing game that was originally made for the Sega Genesis all the way back in 1991 by Electronic Arts. An updated version of the game was later made for the new CD-based consoles such as the Sega CD, 3DO, PlayStation, Saturn, and the PC. The 3DO and Saturn versions are considered to be the best. The PlayStation, on the other hand, is considered to be the worst out of the updated versions. I played the shit out of the Genesis version as a kid, and recently this came into my possession. One of the reasons I started making the classic nerd videos is because I wanted to play games I had forgotten about or never had a chance to play. And sometimes that can backfire on me pretty badly. Let's get into this review. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Right, the review. To start things off, there really isn't a story. You have two modes to choose from: Thrash mode, which is an arcade mode of the game, and Big Game mode, which is a career mode. Your only goal in Big Game mode is to become the best racer in California. One of the updated features is that all the cutscenes are full motion video scenes. For the most part, all the FMVs are welcomed. I enjoy driving fast as much as I enjoy watching things driven fast, so the FMV scenes are a guilty pleasure of mine. My biggest issue is that the FMV scenes are fucking strange. Whenever you win, you're treated to a cutscene of a female biker winning, and... So that's what happens when you give a woman a small trophy and some money. Thanks for the tip. The FMVs are goofy as well. I honestly feel like maybe EA thought that if the game bombs, they could fall back on a Road Rash movie. In Big Game mode, you get to choose your own character, and here's where problems start coming up. First off, the character designs are just ugly and uninspiring. They look like aliens. The second issue is, it takes way too long to load the next character or item in this game. I'm not gonna lie, I'm impatient as fuck. There's no reason for these massive load times when I'm just trying to select the next character on the character selection screen. And it's not just the character selection screen. When you get into the actual game and look at the bikes you can buy, the load times are far worse because the game has to load a cutscene, then after the cutscene finishes, the game has to load the bike specs. That's another issue. Why the fuck do I have to select a bike, wait for a lame cutscene to load, then see what the bike specs are? Why not cut out the cutscene and put the bike specs on the bike selection screen like the character stats are on the character selection screen? I'm jumping pretty far ahead though, I still need to select a character. Each character has their own stats, personality, and start off with their own cash pile and a piece of shit rat bike. Some of them have a misleading personality, like Sydney Bass, a spoiled rich girl. Her? She looks like a 60-year-old grandma. I'm not saying grandma here can't be rich and a little spoiled, but usually in the 90s you didn't use that term for your grandma. When someone calls a woman a spoiled rich girl, they're usually talking about a young girl, not a grandma. I chose Teflon Mike because he's brain damaged, and who wouldn't want to race down busy highways filled with other bikers, vehicles, and pedestrians while having brain damage? Sign me up! Alright, we have a character and we're ready to play. The game only has 5 tracks in it. As you level up as a racer, the length of the tracks increase, but nothing else. What's worse is that all 5 tracks use the exact same assets, so they all start to look like the exact same track. They just blend together. Alright, let's start out with the city track. Remember when I complained about how just selecting the next character in the character selection screen had bad load times? Well, the controls have the same amount of lag in the actual game like they do when selecting options. Because of this learning curve, I ended up getting Road Rash over and over and over again. At first, I thought the controls were just shit until I remembered flashback to earlier. It takes way too long to load the next character or item in this game. And that is when I realized the controls were shit, because the game not only has lag when selecting your character, not only when selecting a bike, but also in the entire game. There is a moment's delay in the D-pad that I just wasn't catching on to, but after I realized the issue, the game became easy. Oh yeah, I haven't really talked about the visuals or audio yet. Well, the visuals are in 16-bit, even though the PS1 is a 32-bit console, but honestly, I don't have much to complain about. It is a port of a 16-bit game from a 16-bit console, so I guess EA didn't want to mess with the visuals too much and instead focus on the FMVs or something. I know what everything is, and that is awesome. As for audio, the sound effects fit. It is what you'd expect from a racing game in the 90s. The music is rock and roll, and I can dig it. The soundtrack is something I can listen to for a while, so again, not much to complain about when it comes to the audio and visuals in this game, except the grotesque cartoons, that is. All the tracks blend in so seamlessly that they all become bland. Pacific Highway is a little different, so it breaks up the monotony of it, but it's still not that amazing or really all that hard. One thing I can't forget to talk about is the combat system. This is what attracted me to the game as a kid, being able to beat the living shit out of your opponents and even cops using your fists, feet, chains, pipes, and baseball bats. Some characters start off with a weapon, Teflon Mike didn't, but it didn't take me too long to take a chain from another racer. There is something therapeutic about playing a racing game where you can kill your fellow racers with a chain or your fists. Alright, so I've been winning races, now I want to buy a new bike. You have rat bikes, also known as shit, sports bikes, and super bikes. For some reason, the bikes you can afford have their money amounts in red text. Usually that means you can't afford what you're selecting, but when in Rome, I guess. Even though this new bike I bought supposedly has better handling, I can't feel the difference. It's still shit. As far as the verdict goes, this game walks the fine line of sucking and meh. The only difficult part about this game are the controls. That is it. The visuals aren't really anything that amazing. The FMVs are fucking weird but harmless. The audio is also not that amazing. And the level design is just lazy. I think the issue with this game is that it came out in 1995 and that it's a port of another game. It's supposed to have these updated features, but the updated features make it look outdated already. By the time this game came out, we already had the Need for Speed, Super Mario Kart, and so many other great racing games and innovative racing games. I've heard the 3DO and Saturn versions are considered to be the best, and even the Saturn version has won some awards, so that's pretty cool. But as far as the PlayStation 1 version, fucking go play the Need for Speed. My verdict for the PlayStation 1 version of Road Rash is to trash it. Better racing games are out there, and as a matter of fact, better versions of this game are out there. If you want to play a really nice racing game for the PlayStation 1, play Gran Turismo. It's a good game still. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, then please subscribe, leave a like down below, and share this video with everybody that you know. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.